In addition to the images that you create with your words, there were also some fantastic images that were created by Jared. And I feel like now is a great time to bring Jared into our conversation. Yes, please. Hello, welcome. welcome.
Hey.
Welcome, Jared. Again, this was such an exciting process to be able to make this. And what people may not realize when they even see that clip is that really this was entirely shot in Joe and Sally's apartments with a green screen and edited to tell the story and to realize this artistic vision. So I wonder if we can talk a little bit about that, the ways in which the technology was used to help realize the vision and tell the story.
Yeah, I think, Joe, Cornelius, and I met and kind of talked tech talk and design talk very early on. And at that point, I was doing a lot of live design of a bunch of shows that I've been working on. And so we were able to, in real time, kind of talk about the overall feel of it, not necessarily the look of it, which I actually think is what propelled us forward as we continue to just like chisel at the thing, because we all were discussing feelings as opposed to like specific look, and we were talking looks, of course, but
Absolutely.
there's a lot more of a deepening of understanding of why we're doing these scenes in the ways that we are, which help because we're filming over Zoom, that we don't know our unknowns, and so when we hit up against unknowns, we're setting ourselves up for success, because then we can pivot better, as opposed to the only idea we talked about didn't work, and so we were able to weave that a lot more. And as we started filming, I think one of the key things that we made a last minute decision on that I'm in edit was so happy with was that we ran the show from start to finish, or scenes from start to finish, in forward, side, would do scenes where Sally would have her back to us, Joe would be turning to the camera, but we never did it like a film shoot where we start and stopped every shot and then we put it together. It was very theatrical, and that was very helpful editing wise, because the energy was generated by Sally and Joe, not by the editor. And I think that that's really important as we're venturing into these virtual storytelling experiments, is how do we maintain power and control of story with our storytellers, not with the editor. That's more film, and so that is where it got really exciting. And for me as a designer, I started thinking about, they're in a car, I need to find this side of the Mazda Protege, the front of the Mazda Protege, the back of the Mazda Protege, the other side, the rear view mirror, and then almost as if, I'm tinkering in video game world right now, almost thinking in 3 dimensions to be able to do these hard cuts, so that it really did feel like we're inside a car. And it was a huge challenge, and I applaud Joe, Sally, and Cornelius for trusting me with the skills that I brought to the table. It's a huge unknown. It's just a lot of close your eyes and just keep leaping forward, and that's brought out the best in collaboration these days. So I've really appreciated that with everyone. So
it was truly an interesting collaboration. I mean, it was going from Cornelius's script, and then, because I remember we had a reading even before we started talking tech, we had a reading of the play so you could see the play, and then getting into, as you said, the feelings of it all. And what was remarkable for me, at any rate, is sort of taking Cornelius's script, sort of adapting that into a screenplay of sorts, passing that on to Jared, having conversations with Jared about what it should feel like, where we should be, how things should sort of transition from one thing to the other. And in some ways felt like the guy could read my mind, because he would come up with something and think, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So it was that kind of really fairly easy collaboration. I mean, we ran into technical problems all the time with sound and with the look of things, but we managed to sort of barrel our way through all of that stuff and maintain the structure and, as he said, the emotions of the piece, which was important.
Well, and I think that was the the energy handoff between Joe and Sally to me was more important than anything else. If we could feel the like tentacles connecting between Sally and Joe, we had our paint and we could solve it in various ways. But if we didn't have that, then I think our note sessions would have been, how do we create relationship between these two? And would back ourselves into a corner that way. So, as we were hitting up against each of those moments of technical challenges inside the film room, for me, it was most important to make sure that their connection was always maintained, no matter what we were doing. And I knew and trusted with their powerhouse storytelling techniques, we would find a solution, even if it wasn't the solution we thought, because that's the most important thing.